Hello everyone, I am the plane shifter phasing to the universe of Pyre. Let us take stock of the situation as it has become quite dire. I've just lost to the withdrawn, and the stars themselves are withdrawing. This does not bode well. Human? You find Sir Gilman searching intently for something or other. His eyes shut tight, his brow furrowed in deep concentration. He acknowledges your presence in the most minimal way possible and continues scanning the environment. You shall have to forgive this knight's impertinence to you, Master Leader, for he is on the hunt at this time. Using his acute sense of hearing, which is much more acute whilst underwater but shall have to suffice in this case, he shall track down a most elusive character. A character who has eluded this knight time and time again, and from whom this knight seeks to learn still superior evasive strategies, applicable when next he may conduct the rites. Well, at least it's good to see that people are taking this quite well. Oh, is that? You have no idea to whom he is referring when... Stick that where a mere cut out. Could be wrong your neck just now, you know. Oh, this knight has failed again. Oh, they were playing hide and seek or something. Alas, Master Rake, one more you have outwitted this poor knight. And outmaneuvered him. Please, you must reveal the secret to your speed and cunning. Take it easy, champ. You're not half bad yourself. Besides, I was getting pretty sick of running circles around you, all these slowpokes. Circled around all those slowpokes before you showed up while we were out at the sea. Do you truly mean that, Master Rake? But no, it cannot be, for this knight has never seen anyone as daft and fleet as us. Certainly it must be advantageous to possess 4 feet, for this knight has but one. If so, it may be called. And yet, we all are born with the necessary means, and we must make do. Call me. Look, Chun, you got to stop being so hard on yourself already. You ever thought maybe you ought to give yourself a break once in a while? Never! This knight deserves no break, not while there is honor to be gained. He's merely a worm, one of roughly 8 billions of his kind. Thus, he must strive to be remarkable and to exceed what is expected of him. Guess what, Shun? You went and did that already. I thought to you how you see Dominion types were just a bunch of meatheads who didn't care for nothing but a fight. But you've been downright decent. You even made me break a sweat a couple of times out there. Then I thought maybe we got some bad cooker on his foot domain. Point I'm trying to make is, it's been good having you with us. I always say it's worth having someone keep around to keep you on your toes. For a moment, if you wonder if Sir Gilman is about to weep. Sensing the same, Rocky immediately changes the subject. Now come on, you want to go another round, alright? There is some good hiding spot outside where I can show you how we cubs get to drop on unwary passerby in a very honorable way. This night would be most honored, Master Hake. As the two of them heads off further to further train together, you catch notice of the book of rites there in the wagon. The rites which so stress, trust and reliance on one's fellow exiles. The scribes likely did not envision Sir Gilman and Rake in particular as conductors of their sacred traditions, yet perhaps theirs is the sort of kinship which they had in mind. Well, what's everybody doing? Sandra is smiling to herself, Walfred's mixing inks, Jody is lifting heavy objects, Pamita is having a drink. Let's join her. Bertrude is lurking under the wagon. human is nearby, of course. Rai is dancing around, Tizo is giving himself a pat, Rake is nearby, and Tarek is watching the skies. Nothing on your mind? On Kinship. Each one of us within the eight, besides the imp, how we would have perished in the downside had we not found each other and together formed our union. Here in the downside we are bound, but that which binds us here does not have some latitude. We choose the bond of kinship. Our exile took precedence over our differences. The empire, which had subjugated all our kind into a tense alliance, should give way to a society in which our differences are paramount. There may you embrace your ancient cultures whilst jointly forming a great culture all of its own. Next to mercy, it's to kinship that shall form the bedrock of the Commonwealth. And currently the Commonwealth have none of these things. Yeah, we need to save it, but I'm failing. Failing miserably. Anyway, let us continue. There is nothing better for us to do. Good morning, everyone. We are at the mercy of the stars, and none can say how soon they will shine for us again. Let us recover for a while at the moonlighted grove and decide how to proceed. Let's bide our time. Let's make yourself as comfortable as possible here for the time that wings. The rites ought to commence again before you know it. Until then, be well. Thus you and your companions remain on the mountaintop, waiting for the stars to shine again. The cycles of rites is ending. The news that Wolfred and the lone minstrel revealed to you now threatens to disrupt the group's resolve. Rumors deserve their freedom. Can there be any hope for your revolutionary plan to change the Commonwealth if too few exiles manage to return? These questions hang like a fog over you and your companions as you linger there on Mount Lodiel. For now, the exiles of the Nightwings vow to stick together, for as many opportunities as they shall have. Many moons pass. One call remaining, Wolfred fends you off on your own.
There's a room to stop.
Well, my kin, it's time once more. Come see. Wolfred indicates the sky, and through the snow you see that he's right. Soon all of your companions are gathered. Wolfred regards the group in his steady manner. As you know, I have refrained from participating in the rites myself. This was a long-held choice of mine, for a variety of reasons. Chief among those reasons is so that I might direct our plan, free from the unwanted attention both from our adversaries here and those who would oppose the Commonwealth. Another reason is my past experience conducting the rites. It did not end in good terms. Before my time, the Nightwings comprised of 3 exiles: Brinton, a former exile of Nightwings who conducted rites alongside Oralek, Eriza, and Oralek. Little Tizo was with 10 as well, still learning in their ways. After Brinton regained his freedom in the liberating rites, the Nightwings took me in. I started for another time, but for one thing, I had capacity to read the ancient book. Anyway, when next we earned our way into the liberating rite, Oralek was anointed for return. He had long been in exile, and his horns were beginning to show. He prevailed. Little Tizo is enough attack versus Pyre's, thus Oralek earned his freedom. However, just as the Shimmer Pole was to engulf him, Eriza, she shoved him from the precipice and took her freedom in his stead. What the heck? She perished, of course. Only Anointed can transcend the Shimmer Pool, but she thought the warnings were met and paid the price. She was always restless. I presumed Dora like Parisha too, to survive a fall from Mount Lodial? I was left alone. Subsequently, I made no attempts to reassemble the Nightwings, knowing that such treachery, such harm was even possible as part of this ordeal. I frankly still do not hold the reason to be at fault for what transpired. I hold instead the Commonwealth responsible for it putting us into this disparate situation. And I resist the urge to think the rights may partly be to blame as well for pitting brother against brother, sister against sister. Wolfhard breathed a deep sigh. Now I see that Oralak yet leaves. A time when your plan is already in motion. And even the stars are fading. Perhaps a signal that the scribes themselves know that the Nightwings are divided, and that they do not approve. But I choose to take it as a sign that we must act. The scribes have put us in a set of circumstances where each one of us may rise to the occasion. The Nightwings in our plan need all the help they can get, and so I have made a decision which I wish to announce here to you all. In the name of the Nightwings and Reader, by your leave, I will conduct the rites again. Long have my skills languished in the matter, I admit, although I trust I shall regain them soon enough. While I once vowed never to conduct the rites again, our present situations call for all our resources to be brought to bear. So, if I may be of use during the rites to come, I shall avail myself. That's all. Now then, our reader shall determine where we are all headed come first night. Wolfred bows his head to everyone, while the others exchange looks, then one by one salute him in turn. Wolfred stands ready to conduct the rites again. Welcome back to the ranks. One more, do several stars shine, bright in the night skies, revealing several paths for you to pursue towards salvation. Oop, go, Odes. The Dissidents, the Chastity, and the Essence. Wolfred's planner, show me how things are going. Ooh, the Accusers might go to the right. Or maybe I can make it so that that the Dissidents make it there. They lost to me quite greatly. Anyway, I'm going to fight the Chastity because I'm curious about what happened to them. Very well then, reader, once more you shall face Manly and the Chastity when next stars align. We may set course for the reach of Goa Town. For now, please get some rest in the remaining dark of night. Nothing is going on here. Oh, I have a new roster. Professor Cassius. He was born on the 21st of 6th moon, suggesting he is contemplative and passionate. Okay, crime publishing. Your motive insurrection. By day, he was an unassuming history professor. By night, he operated a small but illegal stamping press of his own design, which he used to disseminate provocative ideas concerning how a true peaceful Commonwealth might look. When his underground press was at least discovered, it was publicly destroyed. Eventually, he too was found and cast down. In the downside, he was taken in by the Nightwings, who sought someone with his experience. Since then, he hatched a long-term plan to recruit the like-minded individual who might stand together to usher a new age for the Commonwealth. So many unknown things. Who do I need to learn more? Only Bertrude. Yeah. So I shall. But what is everybody doing? Cassandra is cursing the scribes. Wolfred is nearby. Jody is cleaning something. Pamita is out on a start flight. Bertrude is collecting mosses. Gilman is practicing feints. Rai is talking to the scribes. Tizo is fast asleep. Rake is taking a nap. And Tarek is strumming a tune. Afterward, inspect. As an exile of the downside, as reader of this book and as conductor of the rites, you are engaged now in a cycle which has lasted since the dawn of this age. Here within this part of the book is offered a summary of all key figures, locales, terms, and astral phenomena you shall encounter, either first hand or in passing in your path. To know the history of the downside and the rites is to prepare yourself to walk the path towards enlightenment and then liberty itself. Should you be free again, remember, reveal not the rites themselves nor the existence of this book. Okay? Rites terms adversary, the opposing band of exiles you stand against during the rites. Aura, one solitary weapon in the rites. One's inner strain made manifest. Banishment, a fleeting sense of nothingness induced by contact with an opposing aura. Book, this very tome or any of the precious copies which we together crafted. Casting, the art for projecting one's auras to the adversary. Enlightenment, understanding gained from conducting a rite. Expulsion, a state of eternal banishment. Right, a celestial sight to which a word can regain their freedom. Raiment, flame-proof masks and robes fashioned for the rites. Rank, a measure of the rites conductor's experience in a matter. Reader, one who can decipher text or oversee a triumvirate in the rites. Rite, a ceremony to which word exiles will regain their freedom. Right versus rights, okay. Stamina, measure of an exile physical exertion, it gradually recovers. Sigil, a symbol representing each triumvirate set where the Pyre shall burn. The 8 scribes, Golgothanian, known as the Master General, and the Nomad scribes, he wields the legendary Tower Shield, Oath Taker. Hauk the Swallow, known as the Accursed, and the Imp Scribe, he possesses the legendary Wings of Misfortune. Jamur Manyman, known as the Alpha Chief, and the Cuff Scribe, he wields the legendary Jawblade Knee Bender. Luz Clorian, known as the 100 Minds, and the Sap Scribe, he wields the legendary Staff, the Genealogy of Clorian. Triumvirates, the Accusers, a triumvirate formed by the nomad Golgothanian founded on justice and loyalty. Sigil, the Shattered Skull. The Beyonders, externally expelled, not a true triumvirate. Sigil, Forked Star. The Cassidy, a triumvirate formed by the Sap, Luz Clorian, founded on integrity and modesty. Sigil, Bloom Flower. The Dissidents, triumvirate formed by the Imp Hauk, the Swallow, found from difference and conviction. Sigil, Leading Maul. The Essence, triumvirate formed by the Harp, Saint Yestatetz, founded on liberty and piety. Sigil, Empress Tear. There is so much stuff here. Denizens of Sar, Cars, swift, dog-like creatures known for their loyalty, optimism, and appreciation for the simple things. Groans have set serpentine creatures known for their bluntness, stubbornness, and penchant for mysticism. Demons, former men and women who have withstood while in the downside long enough to be transformed by it. Empire of Sard are nations which thrived for an entire age, now on the brink of ruin as we remain imprisoned here. Harps, winged creatures from whom men and women are perhaps descended. Downside regions. Dark buzzing. Oh man, I'm getting tired of reading. A land of black glass, shearing vapor, and strangling forests. Single largest region in the downside. The Deathless Tempest, a storm which perpetually rages in the Sea of Solace. Residing in the sea, domain claim responsibility. Downside Pyre, one of the downside's only verdant regions, although tempest swept and overall unlivable. Flagging Hands, a gloom-filled, generally full and desolate region of the downside beyond which lies the sea. Jamur Valley, a sprawling, sand-swept fossil wasteland towards the south. Mount MacLeod, the sacred mountain on whose the summit of the rites were first ordained, Sea of Solace, an impassable oceanic expanse, pockmarked by the crude little islets, excluding shore, a frozen oasis tucked between the chaos of Waking Wood and the sacred Mount MacLeod. Southern Sunful, the southern edge of the downside, an unlivable waste. Wormgulf, the tempestuous Sea of Solace lies beyond the stagnant body of water. The High Winds, a militant faction of the Harps that has resisted the Empire's generosity with vicious force. Imps, ravenous creatures indigenous to the downside, some possesses a higher intellect. Nomads, men and women who venture to the downside from the Empire. Saps, clever tree-like creatures known for their ingenuity and ambition. Sea Dominion, the vast and war-torn undersea nation of the Underking. Sisters of the Ark, killers trained from birth to carry out their mission. Worms, intelligent amphibians of the Sea Dominion known for their chivalry and determination. Okay, the Fate. A triumvirate formed by the court Jamur Money Main, founded on Earth and Honor. Sigil awakened I. The Nightwings, triumvirate formed by all 8 scribes, diverged against from whom all other triumvirates are judged. Sigil, Cresting Moon. The Pyre Hearts, triumvirate formed by the Worm under King Ors, founded on the courage and passion. Sigil, Burning Heart. The Tempers, triumvirate formed by the demon Solian Moor, founded on strength and mercy. Sigil, Black Nails. The Witted Realm, a triumvirate formed by the Crown Mountain Military, founded Truth and Knowledge. Sigil, Far Mountain. Truth and Knowledge. Man, they went far from that. Mountain Melody, known as the Wild Witch and the Crown Scribe, she wields the legendary lantern, Flame of the First Hag. Solian Moor, known as the last of his name, and the Demon Scribe, he possesses the legendary Black Nails of the Fallen Emperor. Trieste Tits, known as the Blessed Born, and the Harp Scribe, she wields the whole scepter of the Sabarian Empire. Under King Ors, known as the Sea's Journer, and the Weird Sunrise, he wears the legendary Blader Mail, Silverfish. Talisman, a trinket bestowing mystic power onto those who believe it can do so. Triumvirate, a band of the exiles striving together to be free again. Quickness, a measure of one's swiftness in the rights. Shimmer Pool, a mystic means to return to freedom. Only word can enter. Glory, a measure of one's worth, affects the Pyre. Hope, one's capacity to see the light and things, influences banishment. Inspiration's capacity to gain enlightenment quickly, gained from witnessing the rites. The last liberation rite, the last rite in a cycle in which an exile at least regains his or her freedom. Mastery, a blessing of bestowed on enlightenment and conduction of the rites. Yes! The Orb Celestial, a key object in the right's exiles vie for it and use it to prevail. Presence, one's inner and outer strength combined influence aura. Pyre, the key object of the right's exiles vie to extinguish one and another's flames. Whoa, that's a lot to read. Triumvirates, the denizens of the stars, downside regions, Mount Aludio, the sacred mountain, Sea of Solace, celestial landmarks, a list, the cairn of Haub. I'll let you pause and read if you wish to do so, but I'm tired. The Greater Titans, the Odin Stars, and that's about it, the end. And so, thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Plane Shifter, and I'm phasing out.